Normally video games are about shooting people in the head, or making a number go up, or climbing a mountain. They're often about conquest, control over something, being the baddest of dudes and saving the presidentiest of presidents. Terra Nil has a different approach. Instead of taking, it's about giving back. You are placed on a ruined landscape and have to nurse that landscape back to health. You do this by placing machines, powered by renewable energy of course, that do cool technology things such as suck all of the toxins out of the ground or irrigate the surrounding area, turning it into a lovely shade of green. Next up is cultivating different kinds of biomes, creating a wetland on low-level terrain perhaps, or maybe even burning down an entire meadow and then using the fertilized soil to make a forest. Once you've done all of that, it's time to leave this planet behind, taking down all of the buildings you placed to make this landscape so picturesque in the process. Pretty much everything that you do in Terra Nil will have some kind of impact on this number right here, the number of leaf bucks that you have. If you place a wind turbine, the number will go down. If you seed a beautiful forest, the number will go up. What we have is an optimization puzzle. We want to be able to cover as much of the landscape in green while using as few resources as possible. I feel like the reverse city builder marker that was probably included at the top of the press packet is kind of nonsense. Let's call it a spatial puzzle game. If I place down a wind turbine out here and then 3 toxin slurpers in this layout, then that will provide me the largest amount of potential surface area for my irrigator and therefore the highest amount of green bucks. Repeat as many times as needed. The problem is, I don't really like it. There's a major problem I have with Terra Nil. I've seen people describe it as tedious or a little short, but I think those are just symptoms. Terra Nil's problem lies in its lack of friction. There's no nice way of saying this. The numbers are a little bit fucked. The game is incredibly easy. There were no thoughts in my head at all while playing this game. You have to worry about this number for maybe the first 10 minutes or so, and then it balloons into the stratosphere. It is simply not a challenging game, and I know what you're thinking, okay? Yeah, I know exactly what you're thinking, and that is, well, what's wrong with that? We have a ton of challenging games out there, why can't this one just be a nice, relaxing, meditative experience? You're always going on about the tranquil game, Harry, what about Terra Nil? And yeah, that's a good question. My counterpoint is Euro Truck Simulator 2. This game is very relaxing. I love Euro Truck Simulator 2 because it's so relaxing. What has Euro Truck Simulator 2 got that Terra Nil hasn't? Apart from the truck, I guess. Euro Truck Simulator 2 has friction. It has push and pull. It has risk and reward, whatever you want to call it. Popular YouTuber Masahiro Sakurai describes it as being able to make meaningful decisions and then seeing the outcome of those decisions. Despite the seemingly monotonous nature of Euro Truck Simulator 2, it's still an incredibly engaging game because you're making lots of decisions. These decisions don't have to be big, for example, it can just be deciding to steer so as not to crash into the oncoming car. Or maybe it's a little bit more than that. Maybe it's taking that risky job, the one where you have to skip the upcoming rest stop because you only have a few hours to spare, just making it in the final moments and receiving a huge payout of cash as a reward. From the outside, if you're not familiar with the game, Euro Truck Simulator 2 kind of seems like a bit of a joke, but there's a reason why it's popular. It doesn't succeed on the novelty alone, but it uses its simulation to give the player friction. Terra Nil doesn't have this. The design doesn't really support it. There are harder difficulty settings, but it only makes the issue more apparent. If the game is too easy, then none of the decisions that the player makes has any meaning, you can just do whatever you want. But if the game is too hard, then it becomes so incredibly dialed in on optimization that the player can make almost no meaningful decisions. I don't think there's a sweet spot here in difficulty where everything will be alright, it's a fundamental problem with the game. I definitely vibe with the tone, even the framing of Terra Nil to be on the less challenging side of things. The presentation is excellent, everything works well together, but ultimately, if you're making a video game, you're making a video game, especially if it's a systems-driven video game. You know when developers talk about finding the fun? It feels like Terra Nil, despite being released and exchangeable for money, still hasn't found the fun. This game needs more stuff, it needs something. It needs a second currency that isn't just 3 green bucks in a trench coat. Or maybe a technology tree, or perhaps upgrades to your buildings. It needs an edge, it needs a bite, it needs friction. Having the landscape go a bit radioactive halfway through the level doesn't really do much when the verbs are still the same. Having the levels themselves be full varieties of different biomes doesn't really do much when the verbs are still the same. I can place a building. Placing a building is the only thing I can do, it's the only input I can feed into the machine. I know some of you are letting out huge heavy groans right now that I'm about to take this seemingly simple game and demand it turn into a nightmarish web of spreadsheetian complexity. The thing is, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not saying that Terra Nil should be more complex, I'm saying it should have more depth. There should be more friction. There should be more meaningful decisions that the player has to make. You can make simple games with depth. Look at Slipways. If you thought that Terra Nil didn't reach its design potential, or you take issue with what I'm saying, or you're a human being who, breathes, gets headaches, and you can't, ibuprofen your way out of it, then I highly recommend you check this game out. It's a game that's deceptively simple. You can scan for planets, produce on planets, and connect planets. That's it, but that's already 2 more verbs than Terra Nil, and they compound exponentially. It's enough to give the game depth to the point where if you want to get good at Slipways, if you want to go for high scores, the quintuple platinums, it's incredibly challenging. In fact, I'd argue that Slipways is a masterclass of creating friction from almost nothing. You might think there's not much to drawing lines between planets, yet you'll slowly but surely pick up on tricks. You'll know when to connect planets to other planets, or maybe when not to connect to other planets. The lanes can't intersect after all. You'll know what resources to squeeze out of where and how to plan for the future in order to give this planet the resources it will eventually need, and all of a sudden, listen to that, it's the sound of the player making meaningful decisions. It's the sound of friction. Maybe that's the point, I don't know, maybe Terra Nil is trying to show us just how effortless it would be to ultimately save our planet, but I'm not so sure. I remember playing the demo for Terra Nil years ago. I remember feeling excited about the potential, about where this game could go. It's unfortunate that the answer to this question is, through intention or struggle to find itself, nowhere. It's a bit of a shame that a lack of such a simple ingredient, an ingredient that a lot of games don't have to worry about due to their adversarial nature, can spell such disaster. It's a game that mirrors the world it saves. Beautiful for sure, but once you look beyond the surface, you'll realize that there's nothing there. Hello, thank you for watching. I hope you're all doing good. It's kind of wild how it's like April already. What's that about? I'm not sure how to feel about that. Okay, so I'm a bit of a hater for this video, right? So I thought to sort of counteract that, I'd be Adam Millard for a second and talk about a really cool channel that you should subscribe to. Tom from Static Canvas is like 10 subscribers off from hitting 1,000, and the fact that he doesn't have 1,000 yet is a crime. It's illegal in many different states. Tom makes really cool videos. They're sort of best described as poetic, and I know that sounds a bit wanky, but trust me, right? If you watch them, you'll know what I mean. If you liked the cadence of my Fire Changing Tides video, or maybe my Sybil video, then Tom is basically that, but better. You'll absolutely love it. I think we can easily get him to 1,000 subscribers, no problem. Probably a little bit more, and I think that'd be really cool. Alright, that's it. Again, I hope you're all doing well. Take care.